Hi and welcome back to part 2 and to the back of my van. So in part 1 we started making the bed seat that's going to go in here, and in this video I'm going to make the supports to support it both as a seat, folded up in place as a seat and as a bed. So my start point is going to be a board at the back that'll sit against this nice solid raised section. I've got the bolt holes here that were used to keep the bulkhead in place. So I'm going to cut another piece of ply that will sit up against here with either some brackets on the back or a piece of 30mm 2x1, something like that. So I can bolt down through there to keep the ply solid, and bolt into here to pick it up as well, and probably on this far side. I need to leave these exposed because I need these D-rings to tie the bike down to, and I've also got to make sure that the seat height is above this because that's the support for my bike when it's in here and the seat's folded up out the way. So my bike support is 13.5 inches tall. So I'll cut my ply at 14 to give myself a bit of breathing room. And I've got a width of 1750mm. So let's have it all in metric, shall we? 35.5, 750. So the only piece of ply I've got is 1640 long, not 1750. So I'm 90mm short at this end, but it's going to be fine. It's got to be fine. I've got no other ply. This end I was thinking I'd have to scribe, but it's a beautiful fit. So no scribing required, but what I do need to do is mark out to allow for these D-ring fasteners, as I mentioned, so I can bolt the bike down. So that's that one. This one is right on the edge. The bolts themselves have got a standoff on them, which is about the same thickness as the ply, so it won't allow the ring to move. So I'm going to drill a slightly thicker hole. If I do one around 60mm, then it should still allow the D-ring to move to accommodate the bike when I tie it down. That's the 2 holes drilled for my anchor bolts, D-rings to secure the bike to. So next I need to trace this line onto the back of the board. I can't show you what I'm going to do because I can't get the camera in there, but I'm just going to take my pencil, lay it behind and trace along the back, so I've got a line that I can screw a piece to, and then I can bolt that piece down to there, securing the backboard in place. So that pencil line now represents the underside of the piece I need to screw to this, and I'm looking for a piece of something about 50mm wide. And what better than another offcut of ply? So I've cut my piece of ply at 50mm, and hopefully you can see there's the slightest of ridges there that my support piece can sit up against quite nicely. So I've made a mark there so that I can line that piece up, butt up against that edge and against that line, with the line showing, I believe. So I'll screw that in from the face, and then I can line up, drill the holes and bolt the piece down. My line is 70mm up from the bottom of the board, so I've measured up 79 to get to the approximate middle of the ply, and I should have done this before I put my clamps on. I'm just measuring and marking where those bolt holes are, so I don't put a screw through there. And finally, before I bolt this into place, I'm going to take my router and just round over on these access holes that I've drilled, and also I'm going to put a round over on the top of this and a round at the corner, just so that it looks a little nicer and I've less chance of catching myself and getting a splinter. Even though I worked out I'd have to drill at 79mm up and told you I'd have to drill at 79mm up, I marked at 70 and drilled at 70, so consequently my piece fell off. So I've had to remark and re-drill, and now I've got to fill these holes. What a human being am I? Never mind. On to the routing. Well, that's my backboard firmly in place. Nicely bolted in. You'll just have to take my word for the fact that the holes lined up beautifully. Anyway, next to my side rail support. So as you can see, I've clamped up a piece of 75mm ply at approximately the right height. I'm not sure whether that's correct or not yet. The first thing is for me to make sure that this piece is at a right angle to this piece, as my bed requires a right angle at that side. So that's the right angle. So I've marked here, and I'm going to take this off and screw in the back. Actually, I think I'm going to pocket hole. So I'm going to put a couple of pocket holes here so I can fix this piece to that, and then I'm going to dress a support piece of ply underneath so that it can't compress, break the screws out. And once I've got that end fixed, I can then ensure that this piece is parallel to the floor, and then I can fix it through into this center column. And again, I'm going to dress a piece of ply down the front there just to make sure that can't compress on the screws and drop on me. Before I fix it in place, I'll curve the ends and I'll put a round over just to make it all feel lovely and well thought out, even though this is a very fluid design at the moment.